Hello everyone, it's Steve with Aptera Owners Club. A few days ago, we posted on this channel this video with Chris Anthony being involved with this Evolve With Us electric vehicle symposium. It was pretty long, kind of tedious. I watched the whole thing, and other than what Chris was saying, a lot of what people were saying was a little bit tedious and tough to watch. Anyways, I didn't realize that he had done a Q&A during this session with some people because I wasn't able to attend this live. And this was posted on Aptera's own forums by Tom Bouchel, who's one of our supporting members here. And he posted the entire transcript of the Q&A. And most of you guys have probably already seen it, but if you haven't, I was going to go through it and with some commentary in this video. All right, so let's go through it. First question was, when will the next beta vehicle be shown? And Chris says that the next Aptera will be a Gamma, which is a little surprising because we were told that the next beta vehicle was going to be a solar mule. But then I think this is just a semantic um, description because the beta and the gamma, they're all kind of running together anyway. And so maybe this next Aptera that he's talking about, the gamma vehicle, is also the solar mule. Um, Curious to see the physical version of the solar hatch, any ETA on that. And so he says the team has been testing our full solar package for several months now, updates to come. Now, I think that what he means by that, because when I visited them, I did not see any vehicle that had solar on it. So I'm wondering if what he means is they had the body panels with the solar package on it, and it wasn't on an actual vehicle, but they had it on a charging rig and a testing rig. I'm guessing that's what they've been doing. How many pre-orders? Over 20,000. I think it's over 21,000 now. How many subsystems for Aptera will be made in the US and how many out of the country? So he said 6 major subsystems. That he said that before, and they think 5 will come from North America. So we know that they signed that one deal with Chery Automotive. That's from China. So at least one subsystem is coming from China. And the other 5 looks like they think will come from North America. What that means is that's the suppliers they're looking at, but they haven't nailed down those suppliers yet. But it looks like most of their parts are coming from North America, or at least they're trying to source them from North America. Is there going to be OTA updates? He's said several times that there will be over-the-air updates. Can you download maps to local screen and extend the storage place with a memory card? They're still developing those systems, and so they're not going to get a final answer. Someone says, why not make efficient solar electric vehicles that don't need much of a charging network? Well, that's exactly what the Aptera is. Uh, Chris, your team is doing great things with entities opening up charging infrastructure. Is there an industry charging standard or agreements that we'll see more of in the future? He says they are working on a couple. I wish everyone would just adopt Tesla standards and we could all use the same system with one plug. But regulators and special interests haven't made that easy. But we have access to acceptable option to start production later this year. This, you know, I don't want to read too much into this, but it makes me think. So obviously, he's a big fan of the Tesla standard. They're working on a couple. Makes me think that they've been talking to Tesla. I mean, I think that's a reasonable conclusion. I think that they're talking to Tesla, and I think there's a decent chance that the Aptera comes with a Tesla plug. That is just total guessing at this point, but that's what I read into that. Will Aptera be making larger vehicles? Yes, but they are going to focus on the three-wheelers. Good. I don't think that they should get sidetracked. They need to be laser focused on getting this thing out. I mean, I need my Aptera yesterday. I've been looking. I need a car fairly soon, and Aptera is not going to be coming out soon enough for my needs because I probably won't get mine until early 2023 at the very earliest. Since I didn't order one of the Paradigm editions, but I need a car in the next couple of months. And wow, it is trying to buy a car right now in America is brutal. Everyone wants like 10,000 over MSRP for new cars, and used car prices are out of control. If you guys have any suggestions for me, please put it in the comments. I'm open to what I should do for getting a car right now to tide me over until the Aptera gets delivered. But I need an Aptera like yesterday. So I'm glad that they're staying focused on that. Do you know where the Alafe motors will be manufactured? Okay, so this is where I was totally wrong. I made a couple of videos thinking that maybe Lordstown was going to be the manufacturing place. Maybe Alafe was going to manufacture in Slovenia. Evidently, that is not the case. uh, Chris is saying our motors will have parts coming from Asia, Europe, North America, and have final assembly in San Diego to start. So looks like they are going to get some parts. I'm sure the Europe parts are from Slovenia, from Alafe. I don't know what parts they're getting from Asia and what parts they're getting from North America. But the final assembly is going to be in San Diego. So they're making their own in-wheel motors, at least assembling them, which I think is kind of a weird thing since they wanted to try to make their assembly as simple as possible. But maybe Alafe wasn't going to be ready to produce in the volume that they need yet because they're ramping up production and they didn't trust Lordstown to be able to produce it. So they're making the motors in-house to start, which I take that to mean that Alafe is going to make it when they ramp up volume production in Slovenia, they're going to make the motors. So I this what I take out of this is that they're going to be making their motors for the paradigms for the first maybe 100, 200 vehicles in-house, and then after that they're going to source them, I think, from Alafe. That's my guess. All right. Someone's asking about Elio. Okay, we know about Elio, and they're probably never going to make a car. Chris is saying that they're working hard to deliver by the end of the year. So he's still repeating that. We're into June, close to June. We're halfway through May, and he's still thinking they're end of the year. So that's a good sign, I think. How many Aptera are you expecting to produce annually? They're trying to scale to 20,000 units as quickly as possible. That would be awesome. We shall see. I mean, as I've said multiple times, uh, Rivian, Lucid, they've all had they're much better capitalized companies. They have way more money, and they have had lots of difficulty ramping production. So hopefully Aptera can do better, and it is a simpler vehicle to manufacture. So hopefully that is true. Um, will they have switches and buttons or almost all controls through the touchscreen? And they're saying almost all controls will be on the touchscreens. I think it is because that makes things simpler to manufacture, and I'm okay with it. I know a lot of people love switches and they want the tactile controls, but I'm okay. I'm okay with the touchscreen. That's fine, especially if it makes it cheaper and easier to produce and faster to come out. Have you been able to assess solar panel performance real world versus theoretical? We have been testing our production solar panels in our vehicle configuration for several months now, and we have over 2 years of data on our first basic panels now. Okay, so they have been testing them. I think that they've been testing them off vehicle on testing rigs. But that's good that they've been doing testing off vehicle for several months. That's great. What is the testing going to be focused on in the Gamma? We're testing suspension handling characteristics for another month, so they're still tuning the suspension. They're testing ergonomics and user features. Interesting. Because I didn't see any like internal mules. Maybe they're doing that with the alpha vehicles. I'm not sure. Then later this summer, it'll be drivetrain testing with Alafe and general durability testing. Okay, so that'll be very important. Lots to do, but we're progressing well. Okay, great. Later this summer will be drivetrain testing. They need to have a production intent vehicle by later this summer in order to produce. I think they need to give their suppliers several months of lead time to deliver. So, okay, I don't know what to make of that exactly. Um, did you notice the Detroit guys looking uncomfortable when you mentioned Tesla as a standard? Having a single standard would benefit everyone in EV, and Tesla clearly has the best standard and the most hours of testing to prove out. And he capitalized clearly. Seems like we just need to continue to lobby Tesla to let everyone use their tech. So again, Chris Anthony seems to be a big, big fan of the Tesla plug. Any plans to show Apteras through Central East Coast? Sounds like they are planning that. That's good. Um, someone, Chris Anthony, president, his first act, Tesla charge plugs for all charging in vehicles. So again, uh, Chris loves the Tesla plug. So there's 3 times when he said that Tesla plug is the best. Have you decided where the charge ports will be in the Aptera? Still working on it. We'll announce where we use it for initial production. So they haven't, on the Alpha vehicles, it's in the back, and there has been some mention about putting it in the front, but looks like that's not finalized, so we don't know. What role can the contracting construction community play in helping the various entities represented by this panel move this initiative forward? Lobby for reduced regulation to install charging stations wherever they're useful. Okay. Talking about the solar package, and he describes it as you get 40 miles of charge a day. I think we all understand what that means. How about a month-long trickle charge? So 40 miles times 30 days, 1,000 miles of charging over a month. This is under optimal conditions. Um, this was also surprising to me. Foresee any optional removable rear-facing seating? No, but possible third seat for kids forward-facing in the center rear. I would love this. That would be great. I've asked about this multiple times, and before it has been pretty much a no, but looks like it's maybe back on the table. A third seat would be great. Even the small jump seat, I think that would be awesome. All right, so this is saying how it's great that you can charge, because Aptera is so efficient, you can do most of your charging needs with just a regular standard 120 volt outlet in the garage. So that's huge. And then I think you mentioned that a solar inverter will allow for collecting external panels. What was the max 1500 watts, or to allow it to upgrade to better panels in the future? Chris Anthony says, yes, you will be able to add extra solar to the system to charge while camping or traveling. So that's the first time he said that. Before, I've asked this question to Chris before, and that was a question, and they said that they were thinking about it. Now he's saying, yes, you will be able to add it. So maybe they've made a final decision and that they are going to add it. Maybe that is, so this seems pretty definitive. So it sounds like there's going to be a plug where you can add extra solar to the system when you're camping or traveling. That would be awesome. I would love that. That's like such a great feature. I've been asking about that for months. Chris, I believe Aptera solution cannot occur only during DC fast charging, and that he says that is true. You can't solar charge while it's DC fast charging, because DC fast charging is going to max out the battery pack, as we kind of figured out in the last video where we were looking at their battery pack design. And so the DC fast charging is maxing out, so you can't even add any more to it. But you can solar charge while it's AC fast charging, and it solar charges while the car is driving. With the average used car selling for $28K now, the tax credit against a reasonable retail price would go a long way to affordability, especially with subscription to ownership programs. I wish the average car was 28K. It's over 41K. I think Chris kind of misread this question. This person asked the average used car is selling for 28, and this is the average. Chris is talking about the average new car. The average new car is 41K now. Does your 40-mile-a-day solar estimate take into account that the solar panels will never all be ideally oriented for maximum production? So that's true, like based on the shape of the car, like if the sun is towards the hatch, it's the front hood's not going to be at the great angle. So Tom is asking, does it take that into account? And Chris says, yes, they are taking that into account. All right, so basically thanking Chris for everything. All right, so great. That is all the questions and answers that Chris gave during this talk. This was probably the most useful part of that whole talk. The rest of it was like 2 hours of other people kind of like doing talking points. Okay, so the biggest things I got out of this is that Chris Anthony loves the Tesla plug, which makes me think, and he's talking to he says right here, We are working on a couple of they're talking to a couple of people. So they have access to acceptable option to start production later this year. That really makes me think they're putting a Tesla plug on it. And then also the thing I was completely wrong about is that the Elafe motors are going to be produced at least initially in San Diego. I suspect by Aptera. Aptera, I don't know why they would, outsource that to someone else in San Diego. So I think they're assembling the motors themselves. And so I was completely off base with my thought that perhaps Lordstown was the producer of that. All right. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. And tell me what you guys think. Is Aptera going to come with a Tesla plug? I'm thinking there's a better than 50-50 chance that that happens. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. And also, if you guys have any ideas of what car I should get to tide me over until the Aptera comes out, I'm thinking either buy like a really cheap used car, but those are super hard to find. Should I just get a gas car? Old Leaf? I looked at Fiat 500Es, and I remember when I looked at them 2 years ago, they were selling for about $9,000. Now they're selling for like $17,000, a used Fiat 500E. It is insane. Maybe just get an electric motorcycle to tide me over until that car comes. Anyways, what do you guys think I should do? And lastly, I'd like to take this time to recognize our supporting members, and that's Enoch, Brian, and Jaren at the 100 kilowatt level, Curtis, Jeremy, Tom, and Tom is the guy that gave us the transcript, so thanks, Tom. Dean, Go Climb a Rock, Adimchi, Neil, John, Don, Paul, Harry, and Paulry. So thanks so much, guys. And thanks to all of you guys for watching and commenting and just participating in the discussions. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, everyone.